What's up guys, welcome back to the Leftlane MMA channel, and in today's video we've got another informal PowerPoint presentation video. I've constructed another well-made list, and this time we're going to be going over ranking every division in the UFC from best to worst. Of course, I'm going to leave out women's MMA because they would all just be down the bottom, but I'm going to be ranking all 8 men's division from number 8 down to number 1. And we are going to discover what is the best and worst division in the UFC. So, without further ado, let's get into it. You can let me know if you disagree. Let me know in the comments what your order would be. You go from 8 down to 1. I want to know who you think is the best division or what you think is the best division. You can subscribe to this channel and consume more content like this. I've made a few PowerPoint presentations, very informal, well-made videos that they are. And I produced a whole lot of other content, UFC predictions, fight announcement, reactions, all that kind of stuff. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, go follow my Instagram, Leftlane MMA, and let's get started with the video. So, the first division, or number 8, I've got Flyweight. I call it victim weight because they're a bunch of victim weights. They're a bunch of midgets. They're small human beings, so like, it's just a bit weird to see like a bunch of people like that look like they'd be in a circus, a bunch of dwarves fighting. Like, it just looks a bit odd. The champion is really fun though, Pantoja. He did knock out Islam Makhachev, according to Brendan Schaub. So we know that Brendan Schaub is a reliable source of information. Really fun fighter that Brandon Moreno is. So we've got a fun champion. That's always good when the champion's boring, you know, takes it down a couple points. But fun champion at flyweight, based Manel Cap, brings a bit of spice to the division, you know. We always need someone to just call a couple people homophobic slurs. Like, that's always something we need in the division. We need at least one of those person in each division, so that he brings it up a little bit too. There was Moreno and Figgy kind of held up the division, so that made things a little bit dead. This is this rat Iranian guy called Amir El-Bazi who robbed Kai Kara France and is managed by a terrorist snitch. And he's kind of ruining the division because he's boring as fuck. The title fights have been really fun. Like, there basically hasn't been a bad title fight. I'd say the worst title fight was probably the Figgy versus Moreno quadrilogy. It was probably actually the worst fight out of all of them, out of all the recent flyweight title fights. But like, Moreno Pantoja was sick. Even Kai Kara France versus Moreno for the interim belt was sick. And then the first 3 Moreno Figgy fights were great. There's not a lot of interesting, like, contender fights. Like, in other divisions, you'll get matchups like Shavkat versus, like, Wonderboy, and you're like, that's a sick contender fight. Like, and that's, like, number 5 versus 6, I'm pretty sure. But in the flyweight division, number 5 versus 6 would be, like, fucking Mateus Nicolau versus Alex Perez. Like, no one gives a fuck about that. So, it's like, some of you just don't get excited for the contender fights. There aren't even a lot of them as well. Like, the last top-ranked flyweight fight was Kai Kara France versus Amir El-Bazi. Apart from that, we had the title fight, obviously. And then a few other decent ones. But yeah, not a lot of, like, top contender fights. Not a lot of interesting prospects as well. Like, Makhayev's now ranked number 10, so you can't even really call him, like, an up-and-coming prospect. I guess he is. But apart from that, like, there's those Kazakh guys, like Maxim, and the other bloke. But, like, there's not a heap of like, Steve Urseg's a good prospect, I guess, coming over from Eternal. Alex Perez is in the top 10, so that immediately just makes your division extremely weak. Like, if Alex Perez represents the top 10 of your division, then it kind of just sucks. But that's the number 8 division, the flyweight / victim weight division. I'm going to be giving it a 6.3 out of 10. So it's a fun division. The title fights I get excited for. Like, I'm pumped for Pantoja versus Royval. Pantoja is one of my favorite fighters. I'll always be excited to see Manel Cap fight. He said he's got fight news coming soon. But apart from that, you know, there's just not a whole lot to be excited about in the division. Like, we're probably going to get El-Bazi versus Moreno for a number 1 contender fight, and Moreno will probably win and then get a 7th fucking title shot. That guy, his last 7 fights have been for the belt, and he has 0 title defenses. So Moreno needs to just get his shit together. But we move on to number 7. It's the light heavyweight division. It's been cursed for years. Like, since John Jones left, it's just been dead. Well, not dead, but, like, it's just been weird. We haven't had, like, a sense of order. Like, I'll give you a timeline. So, after Jones left, Blachowicz knocked out Reyes for the vacant belt. Then he defended against Dogfucker Adesanya. Then he lost to 43-year-old Glover Teixeira. Then Glover took a year off and then, or like half a year off and then lost to Yuri, which was sick. Like the fight itself was sick. No title defenses still. Yuri then injures his fucking shoulder. We got a vacant title fight between Magomed Ankalaev and Jan Blachowicz, which just absolutely no one wanted to see. What else did we have? Then we had Jamal Hill beat the fuck out of Glover Teixeira. That was a bit mean. And now we're gonna finally get a like title fight between two guys that deserve it. Now we're getting Yuri versus Alex, which will be sick. Hopefully, so Jamal Hill also got injured. Sorry, then. So yeah, we've had like 5 vacant title fights in the last fucking like 3 years. It's been retarded. So yeah, there's been no title defenses. This is the 4th vacant title fight coming up in 3 years. But Poatan versus Yuri is a fucking amazing fight, so I'm hyped for that. Ankalaev exists in the division, so it's automatically just brought down a couple points. Johnny Walker's a fun fighter, even though he gets knocked out sometimes, but the Ankalaev fight was retarded. That doctor should be shot. Anthony Smith exists as well, so the division is just bad in the top 10 if Anthony Smith exists. Dominic Reyes is still ranked as well. And there's basically no prospects. Again, not a lot to get excited for. The top of the division is sick. Like, we got Pereira, Blachowicz, Ankalaev, Jamal Hill, Yuri, Prohaska, Krylov, Rakic. And then apart from that, it just kind of falls off a cliff. Like, you got Anthony Smith, you got fucking Azamat Mirzakhanov, you got Volkan Ozdemir. Like, there's just no interesting contenders. They've just been there forever. Like, Volkan Ozdemir fought for the belt in, like, 2019 or some shit. Like, or, like, 2020. No, 2019, 2018. And he's still, like, a top 10 contender, and just no one gives a fuck about when he fights. So, light heavyweight division, not great. Not a lot to look forward to. Like, the title fight, Yuri vs. Pereira, is fucking amazing. But apart from that, I'm just not overly hyped for light heavyweight fights in general. But we move on to number 6. I've put Featherweight as the number 6 division. You guys might disagree. You might be like, oh, Featherweight, it's such a good division. Like, I feel like people are kind of brainwashed into thinking that it's like lightweight, bantamweight, and featherweight are the top 3. And I'm like, nah, not really, honestly. Featherweight ain't that interesting. Like, no promising contenders, really. Like, Diego Lopez, I guess. Movzar's coming up. Like, but there's just not a whole lot of contenders. Volk just owns the division. So, like, that's cool. I love Volk, and I hope he continues to own the division. Like, Topuria is the last hope for featherweight. If you're not a Volkanovski fan, if you want to see this guy lose, then you're praying Topuria gets it done. Because who's next? The winner of Arnold Allen versus Movzar Evloev? Like, Volk will beat them. Max just beats everyone before he fights for the belt. You can see him here. That's leaked footage of Max Holloway. He's looking drippy. As I said, Diego Lopez is cool. That's like the one unranked fighter that I actually give a singular fuck about. Bryce Mitchell exists, which is a positive. Like, normal, I've been saying the other, like, Anthony Smith, that's a negative, but when you got Bryce Mitchell in the division holding up a Bible screaming freedom, then you know your division's exciting. Josh Emmett is a top contender. Like, what? This guy only throws overhands. Like, I'm basically Josh Emmett. Like, I can throw overhands and hooks. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Ortega's still ranked number 3, despite the last time he won a fight was when fucking Trump was president. What else? Barboza's just existing, being a Chad. He's like 37 and just still beating people up. But the fights and the fighters are always fun. Like Barboza versus Cater would be sick. That's a nasty fight. Like Yair versus someone. Like Giga's alright. Like there's fun fights to be had at featherweight, but just not like you want to be hyped for the title fights and stuff. And it's like, what are we getting here? We're getting Allen versus Evloev in January. Is probably going to be a number 1 contender fight, just because unless Topuria beats Volk, because they just need another contender. They can't just keep having Holloway beat everyone up. So it's going to get to a point where anyone who fights for the title is probably going to be coming off like 1 win. They're going to lose to Holloway, and then the UFC is going to be like, well, fuck, we need a title fight, so let's just give you like another top like 6 ranked fighter. And if you beat them, then you get a title shot. It's going to get to that point, honestly. It's going to get to, like, the Adesanya at middleweight point. Except at least Volk's entertaining and doesn't fiddle dogs. But, yeah. Overall, I'll give it a 7.1 out of 10. It's a really solid division. Could do some work. I hope Volk beats Topuria. even though if you're looking at it from an unbiased perspective, Topuria beating Volk is better because it opens up more opportunities. I don't like Topuria, he's a rat. So, featherweight, number 6. We move on to the number 5 division. I've got the heavyweight division, the big boys, the fat men. Most of them are fat, but the ones at the top aren't, and they're the ones that make it entertaining. So, champion has a criminal record. Always good to see. We can always get behind a champion that dabbles in, the hit and run business from time to time. Then the top of the division is also really fun, like Blades, Garn, Pavlovich, Aspinall, Almeida, those kind of guys. Like, we got some promising contenders. Aside from like the top 7, they're all fat as fuck. Like, realistically, who's in shape at heavyweight? I'd say Garn is in shape, Sergey's in shape, Aspinall's in shape, Almeida's in shape, Jones is in shape, Volkov's in shape. I guess you could count Stipe, and Blades is like iffy in shape. And apart from that, you got Rosenstruck, you got Lewis, you got Spivak, you got fucking Romanov, like, you got Tybura, like, you just got a bunch of fat men. So apart from the top of heavyweight, like, it's all just fat, like, clinch fests. Sergey vs Aspinall got made recently. That's an amazing fight. That just shows heavyweight, it does have a really promising future. Like, once Jones leaves and then goes off to, dabble in his cocaine business, then the division's actually going to be really fun. So, Pavlovich just exists in the division just to TKO people. We love ourselves some Sergey Pavlovich highlights. Garn doesn't know how the rankings work. Little bro really thought he was gonna just say, "I am not fighting down. I want to fight for the title, despite I lose my last fight by domination." Like, Cyril Garn's just like, I ranked number 1 contender. I not fight down in the rankings. Like, he's a fucking idiot. Garn just thinks that, like, being ranked number 1 automatically means you just get the next title fight. That's not how it works, little bro. Ask Max Holloway. That guy's been there for ages and he's not getting another title fight. Blades is just stupid. I just had to bring that up. I don't know. Look at him. Look at his little face. This was him after he just got fucking TKO'd by Pavlovich, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it was after the Lewis fight. Either way. Still, Blades just gets to a spot where he's 1 fight away from a title and then just shits the bed and dies. It's pretty funny. The fights are literally either 15-minute clinch fests or just random KOs out of nowhere. Or submissions if you're Jelton Almeida. Who was also, like, basically the Brazilian Hamzat Chimaev at heavyweight. Overall rating, I'll give it a 7.7. It's really bumped up recently. It wasn't all that good, like, when it was just Blades and Volkov and stuff and Garn were the top 5, but now, like, Aspinall, Pavlovich, they're all coming in. Like, 3 years ago, was not good at all. Now, it's actually really solid, so looking forward to the future of the heavyweight division. I'm pumped to see Aspinall get TKO'd by Pavlovich. The next division, I've got number 4, and it's the welterweight division. It's inactive at the top. Like, we really don't. The UFC 296, sorry, is gonna be like, that's gonna combine like 3 welterweight fights, 3 welterweight top 10 contender fights, which is more than we've seen in like the last 2 years. The top 10 guys just do not fight each other. We had Hamzat, who was just sitting out. We had Bilal, who was just being annoying. Well, as always, that's just a Bilal kind of thing. Burns is injured. Colby was just been sitting out. Until recently, Masvidal just existed fighting like once a year and only fighting like big names, which was just annoying. Like Leon, before he won the belt, was just like, "That's 9 fights in a row. I want my title fight. I'm not gonna fight any contenders, despite the fact that my last win was Nate Diaz." Like, Ed was just being annoying. Like, it was mid. Usman was just rematching people for the belt because there was no room for contenders to get into the top. But now we got, like, Shavkat coming up. Wonderboy was saying the only reason Wonderboy's fighting Shavkat is because he's actually technically ranked above him in the rankings. So that's good. Like, Shavkat versus Jeff Neal was sick. That was a good fight. What else in the welterweight division? Like, I don't know. If Colby beats Leon, he's probably going to go on a year-long fucking press tour and go, like, run around with Donald Trump and just, like, try and help him win the presidency again. So that's just going to be a bit fucking annoying. Leon's kind of annoying. Like, Bilal just exists. Colby doesn't deserve a title shot. Like, there's lots of things wrong with welterweight, but, like, these upcoming fights, UFC 296, like, Ian Gary, who is a cuck, by the way, just thought I'd mention that. Shavkat's pretty cool as well. But, like, there are some up-and-comers. Della Maddalena's sick. I like him. Like, good prospects outside the rankings, like Renat and Bonfim, those kind of guys. Blood Diamond, you know. We love ourselves some Blood Diamond highlights. You know, Charles Radke, he's coming up. He's actually politically correct as well, so I'm sure the UFC would love to get behind marketing him, you know. Magny beats his kids, just mentioning that as well. You know, you ever watched Power Slap, guys? Power Slap, you know that thing that Dana White mentions every single second in the press conferences? Yeah, that's actually what Magny does to his kids. uh, um, yeah, Della Madalena's cool. I probably already said that. Good prospects. Solid division. I'm really looking forward to 296. That's gonna kind of like save welterweight. And that's gonna like really kind of liven up the division. We need Della Madalena versus Jeff Neal. That's the fight that needs to happen. Overall, I'll give it an 8.2 out of 10. You guys let me know if you disagree. I think like people like welterweight has the potential to be great. Like it's got some really good fighters, good up and comers, but they just aren't doing the right thing with it. They're not fighting each other enough. Oh, Brady's fighting Gastelum too. Yeah, like there's some sick welterweight fights going on, so I'm excited for welterweight. But before these welterweight fights got booked, the last time, and it still counts right now, the last time we saw two top 10 ranked welterweights fight, it was Gilbert Burns versus Bilal Muhammad on short notice, and then I'm pretty sure the last time before that was Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal. So like Burns is carrying the division right now. Despite now his arms cooked, which is sad because we do love ourselves some Gilbert Burns. But yeah, 8.2 out of 10 for welterweight. We move on. Number 3, it's the Bantamweight division. You guys might be going, oh, Bantamweight's the best division in the sport. Oh, you're a casual. Bantamweight's really the best division, you know? Like, nah, shut the fuck up. O'Malley's the champ. He's a cuck. Like, get out of here. I'm not having it. Peter Yan need his way to a 3-fight losing streak. Like, why's Peter Yan got to be on a losing streak? Like, Bantamweight, I don't know. Like, it's solid, but the way that I see this now is that with O'Malley as champ, which is exciting, but it's just not going to give us the fights that we want or the fights that we need to see, and it's not going to crown. The champion fight should be the first best fighter versus the second best in the division, with the exception that if the second best fighter in the division has already fought the first best fighter in the division and lost. But like, O'Malley's going to fight Cheeto Vera, who doesn't deserve a title shot. Then he's probably going to be like, go, I want to fight Giante Davis. Fight Tank Davis, you know, like fuck off, like you're not Conor McGregor, little bro. You die, like you're not built for boxing. Without like you need your kicks, you need your range, like you're just not built for that, little bro. Sandhagen's the uncrowned champ, and he's probably not going to get a title shot for like 10 years. Who's actually like really good. Marab exists. He should just be cut from the sport. Him and Aljo, the first openly gay couple in the UFC. You know, we accept people around here. You know, we being courteous, we being nice around here. Single C is not him. Lil bro really thought he was gonna come back and win a belt after 3-year layoff. Like you're not John Jones, bro. Look at the little midget. He lost his. He doesn't have the flyweight belt no more. He lost his bantamweight belt, so he's basically just single C anymore. And yeah, but he might be like Pipe and Cortez though, so that's like solid. Song Yudong and Martinez are the dark horses of the division. They're two people that you gotta watch. Cheeto really ain't that good. Like, Lil Bro just relies on finishes all the time. And if he can't get a finish, he just loses. Like, he got fucked up by Sandhagen. He was literally losing 2 rounds to 1 against Dominic Cruz. I was trying to gas him out, you know. Like, Dominic Cruz, when he got hit by that head kick, bro, that wasn't even a good... That wasn't even credit to Cheeto. That was just Dominic Cruz was trying to actually gas Cheeto out, going for a finish. That was a really good tactic, but it was an early stoppage. Umar's probably going to ruin another division and just, like, the Dagestanis are probably going to infiltrate their way into the division slowly. They're going to get their expansion going out of lightweight. They're going to move into all the other good divisions. Some decent prospects like Rinya Nakamura, Christian Rodriguez, the Basharat brothers, etc., you know. Demont Blackshear's pretty solid, like Batista, those kind of guys. Overall rating, I'll give it an 8.7. Look, I do love the bantamweight division. The technique is amazing. Like, in terms of what are the most fun fights to watch, what are the most technical fights to watch, bantamweight is definitely up there. But I don't know, just with O'Malley's champ, I feel like it's gonna be a bit of a slow division for a bit, and it's gonna end up being the UFC just trying to cherry pick the easiest opponents for O'Malley possible that he can actually beat. Like, I guarantee you, they'll probably give Cejudo a title shot or some shit. They'll do Cejudo versus Marab, and then if Cejudo wins, they'll give him a title shot, and then if Marab wins, they'll be like, hey, fight Song Yudong, and then you can fight for an interim title. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Bantamweight's going to be a bit slow, so not ideal for that. But we move on to the number 2 division. I've got middleweight. You guys are probably going, oh, this whole time you're like, how is it not middleweight? You probably thought middleweight was going to be last or second last. You're like, what the fuck? How is middleweight not the worst division in the sport? It sucks, but no, you're wrong. Middleweight is actually great. It's a really good division. It went from literally the worst division to one of the best. Like, I agree. Like, 2 years ago, this division sucked balls. Like, it was actually terrible. But now Dog Fiddler got humiliated, and now it's a fun division. Strickland equals champ. So Strickland is champ equals automatically good. We can get around Strickland being this champ, you know. We get around our former neo-Nazis, you know. We got the real African fighter, Dricus du Plessis, as you can see down the bottom of the screen. We've got two men here. Clearly, one of them is African, one of them is Chinese. I'll let you take a guess. We've got some good prospects like Bo Nickel, Joe Pyfer, Ikram, Roman Kopylov, Kaya Borrello, Shara Bullet, you know, Ruzaboev, all these kind of guys. Really good prospects in middleweight. The potential title fights are really interesting. Like, Strickland as champ opens up the door now. Like, he could fight Dricus, he could fight Hamzat, he could fight Cannonier, but no one wants to see that. Like, Cannonier, little bro, your crystals aren't going to get you a title shot. You're not going to meditate to fucking some amethyst or some shit and then you get a title shot. Like, that's not happening. We got Bisping 2.0, as you can see here, Shara Bullet. He's extremely inbred, but that's the best base for MMA. Lil Bro's Dagestani, but can't wrestle. Like, what the fuck is that? That just doesn't make any sense. Roman Kopylov and Ikram are actually sick. You know, normally I'm not a fan of the Russian fighters. You know, if you have, like, I know Roman doesn't, but like normally I wouldn't be a fan of Ikram, but just despite Hamzat, because I'm not a big fan of Hamzat anymore. I like Ikram. He's actually pretty cool. He fought Phil Hawes and then Wally Alves, and I just heard someone on MMA Fighting say that he would beat Robert Whittaker. I'm like, bro, calm down, you fat fuck. Like, he's not going to beat Robert Whittaker as of yet. But Ikram and Bo Nickel are actually really sick. What else? Hamzat is not as good as advertised. Just had to mention that. Like, he dabbles in just terrorism from time to time, and he's not always training, I think. So his cardio is a bit questionable. Probably from when he got COVID and almost died like a couple years ago. Like, bro, just get better. Like, I got COVID, I was fine. So you just shouldn't get that sick, to be honest. Like, it's not that hard. But Paul Acosta should be cut. I hate that guy. He's just ruining the division. He pulls out of fights and then just makes memes out of it. And everyone's like, oh, haha, it's so funny. So Costa, get out of here. Vittori's shit. As you can see here, mental retardation at its finest. This guy wears backward shorts. He's actually stupid as fuck. But yeah, I love this division. It's actually really good. I'm excited to see what happens. And I think, like, 2 years from now, we're going to see all the dead names go away. Like, Gastelum will go. Hopefully Adesanya will go, you know. Maybe, like, Cannonier will go. Vittori might, like, just dip or just fall out of the rankings. These kind of, like, the older guys, Hermanson will probably go. Like, these guys will probably go, and then we're going to get some new guys in. Like, Paul Craig exists too. Like, bro just pulls guard and triangles people. Like, that's chat activities. So, like, but I honestly think, like, Bo Nickel, Pyfer, Ikram, Roman Kopylov, Carabarello, Shara, like, these are all guys we're going to see in the top 15 soon. So we're going to see a whole new top 15, and I'm excited for it. But we move on to the number 1 division. You probably knew what it was. It's women's bantamweight. I know I did say, I know I said that I wasn't including women's divisions, but, like, that's because the other two just can't keep up. The women's bantamweight is clearly the pinnacle of the sport. As you can see, left of screen, Juliana Pena demonstrating championship level striking, you know. And then, as you can see on the right of screen, the valid defensive tactics of one Chelsea Chandler. Run away from shots if you get hit. That's what you have to do. So, yeah. That's the video, guys. Women's bantamweight is the best division in the sport, and see you guys in the next one. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hopefully you didn't click off the video. The best division is lightweight, of course. It's an amazing division. It's been like this forever. It's getting to a point where, look, it might become dead if Islam keeps dominating, but it's as of right now, it's still amazing. So, inbred champion. That's unfortunate. Oliveira exists, so it's automatically a good division. You know, we love ourselves some Charles Oliveira fights. Like, bro gets knocked down and just says, you just made a mistake, and then just fucking submits people. Like, Dariush stood no chance. I don't know why everyone was picking him. I picked Oliveira. I'm just that guy. Gaethje became good slash non-retarded. Those kind of words are like interchangeable for him. He actually fights with technique now. Despite Gaethje fighting Fazeev, which was good, Poirier and Chandler still just refuse to fight up-and-comers. Look, we can see Poirier down here. P-head. Fucking Dustin. Where are you, P-head? I'm coming for you, Dustin. Like, bro got knocked out. And he was like, Karma's a bitch, man. Karma's a mirror. You know, Justin's a scumbag, man. Justin, he's a scumbag. So yeah, Poirier, can you fight someone outside the top 5? Like, bro's like, you know, I don't want to fight someone. It doesn't get me excited, man. You know, it doesn't even get me excited. Like, bro literally won't fight someone who he hasn't either fought already or is shit. Like, if you offer him Dan Hooker, he'll take that. You offer him Bobby Green, he'll take that. As soon as you offer him fucking Sokin, you know, it just doesn't excite me, man. You know, like, offer him Bernard Saint Denis, you know, it doesn't excite me, man. Who's that guy? You know, he's a scumbag, man. Like Poirier fighting up and coming, bro. Chandler as well. Like, you're literally getting cucked by McGregor. He's just like forcing you to. You're living your life through Conor McGregor. Like, you're basically, you are. Like, Conor's determining what you do with your existence. Like, get some independence for yourself, little bro. Like, adopt some white kids. I don't know. Like, get some like family values going. Good. Like, Drew Dober actually commented on Michael Chandler's family status. He actually is just like, you know, this is what a good family looks like. I don't know what Chandler's doing over there. Like, the microphone was actually pulled away from him after that, but he was very against Michael Chandler's choice of adoption. But what else? Bernard Saint Denis is fucking awesome. Love that guy. He's fighting in a few weeks against Frivola, so I hope he wins. Who else? Dober vs. Africa is an ongoing saga in the division, which is always good. We love to see that. Anything else? What do we have here? Can Tony please just win a fight? Like, he's fighting Paddy Pimblett. If he loses, I think we might all just collectively commit suicide. What else? Gamrot might just jump off a bridge. Like, Lil Bro thought he had a title shot secured, and then he just got cucked for the backup fighter. Volkanovski just rocked up, got head kick KO'd on, like, in 3 minutes on short notice. And the Gamrot says, like, I need my title. I need a title shot. I wait for a title shot. I don't know how Gamrot really speaks, but someone like that probably, like, speaks, like, Auschwitz language, you know? But so much for Guram being a future champion, lol. Like, everyone, the Weasel's like, what's up, guys? You know, here's the top 10 prospect in the lightweight division. We got Guram Kunta-Talante, you know, this guy, man, he's a really good fighter. Like, Guram, Demir, all these little inbred bastards, they all got fucking chinned and forechecked. They're not that good. Elvis Brenner just rocked up and just broke Guram and TKO'd him, on short notice. Like, that was just chat activity. So good stuff from, good stuff from Elvis Brenner. What else? Tons of fun fights. Like, basically all the fights are fun at the top. Like, Dan Hooker vs. Bobby Green's coming up. Dariush vs. Sayukian. Saint Denis vs. Favola's awesome. Like, we got some good fights. Like, Moicano said he's got fight news coming soon. Probably fighting, like, Jalen Turner or Drew Dober. Like, pretty much all the fights here are fun. Even the unranked fights are really good. Decent prospects, too. Like, Nurullo Aliyev, Mateusz Rebecki coming up, like Elvis Brenner, somewhat of a prospect, Bernard Saint Denis, Ishmael Bonfim, you know, these kind of guys. We got some decent prospects, you know, Tony Ferguson, he's 6 fights and a title. And overall, I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's a really solid division. We love ourselves some lightweight fights, but you never know. In a few years, we could see this slip down a bit if Islam keeps dominating, because even though it's still a good division, like, we want some activity. We want some differences, you know. We want some changeover for the belt. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is the video. Thank you for watching. That is my definitive ranking of the best divisions from worst to best in the sport. You guys can let me know if you agree or disagree. As you can see here, we've got some well-made memes here, some captions. Look at Gamrot here. And next for the title now. Dana's like, listen, Cockroach, or whatever your name is, I'll be honest with you, not right now, but Cam's like, I like you, kid, so we'll see what happens in the future. Gamrot, you're not getting a title shot, little bro. You're gonna have to fight fucking Justin Gaethje or some shit. Like, you're gonna have to fight Bernard Saint Denis. Like, you're just gonna die. Johnny Walker here, you know, as you can see, when the ref says he's a family member of Anthony Smith. The doctor here. This is the doctor. This leaked footage of the doctor that actually called off that fight. And another one here, Volkanovski. You know, it's sad. It's sad stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the best divisions in the UFC, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.